Bible Findings by Daniel Adam Fink. Beginning in late 2020 and concluding in late 2024, I have realized everything which has been missing from the Bible. The following is a list of my discoveries. The Big Five. These are the realizations which we have been seeking above all. Eden is found and mapped. Sodom and Gomorrah, called Sodom and Gomorrah, mapped. Join me in this most historic excavation. The complete Hebrew migration identified and mapped on GIS. The complete Exodus route identified, mapped, ready and waiting to be traveled by you. Indeed, the complete Bible explained. We have gone from a low C level understanding of the Bible to a high A understanding in our lifetime. Corrections which were necessary have been made, including corrections to the canonical Bible, as well as corrected Levite canon. These are the books which are important to the Levites, which you do not find in your canonical Bible, including the books of Jubilees, Yasher known as Jasher, and Hanach, Enoch, the central figure in the entire Bible. Corrections. Corrections needed to be made, and they have been made. Corrected Hebrew. The letter ayin, the plural suffixes im and aim, the letter aleph, and ignored prefixes, all corrected, and, most importantly, corrected God names. Eden and Nod, these are big ones. The time and place of Eden, found. The time and place of Noid, found. Cain, the mark of Cain and the Cain hypothesis, explained. Hubble heritage related to the entire Bible. The cherubim, which you know as cherubim, identity and location. Genesis 6, the sons, daughters, man and men in this chapter, explained. Sons of Nach, which you know as Noah, their identities, explained. And the ark location found. The Table of Nations, Genesis 10. This is my favorite map which I have created. The complete Table of Nations allows you understanding Japhet, understanding Ham, understanding Shem, and especially above all Shem, relationship to all of the people and all of the places throughout the Bible. Latter Genesis, all of the parts of Genesis after the Table of Nations, the ancestors of Abraham, the Kashdim, those are the Chaldees, the cousins of Abraham, and the complete path of the patriarchs, explained and shown. As I had stated before, the locations of the cities of the Kekar, known as the plain of the Jordan, that is, Sodom and Gomorrah, etc., known, mapped, and dug. Peoples of the East, the Cani, the Kenazi, and the Kedemani, explained. Lot and the sons of Lot, etc., and Genesis 14, an important chapter because it establishes a geographical order which is repeated throughout the Bible in Genesis 38, in the Exodus route, and indeed beyond. Sons of Abraham. There are many sons of Abraham in the Bible, and when they are mapped together, they complete a picture. The map of the sons of Ishmael, the corrected map of the 12 tribes, and for the first time ever, the complete map of the descendants of Keturah. Completing the descendants of Abraham, we have Genesis 36, the most difficult chapter of all time, including the Hori, their identities and locations, Adam, which we know as Edom or Idumea, their locations, as well as their relationship to Adam, and Genesis 38, Yahudah, which is Judah in the land of Judea. And completing the remaining names and locations in Genesis, Aram and the groups of Arameans, and additional Genesis places, including the cities, the Philistine locations, Deborah, and beyond, completed in our lifetime for your experience. Most interesting of all, most intriguing, the mystery men explained. Hanach, which you know as Enoch, the central figure in the entire Bible, the Metatron, near, The Melchizedek, also known as Adonai Tzedek, etc., explained they do make complete sense. They are interrelated, and you can understand them in their entirety. Hebrew migration complete. Time, place, and stages of the Hebrew migration now known and shown. They are corroborated through Hebrew migration genetics, Hebrew migration archaeology. Indeed, all fields point to one story. Exodus. The Exodus route is complete. As you see here in the background of these slides, this is my Exodus route detail map. Take advantage of these maps which I have available online. They are the first and only complete maps of the Exodus of all time. To the right of this slide, you see a line in blue. This is the route of spies. This is a pivotal route because the remainder of the Bible occurs in and around this particular route. Speaking of the Exodus, we have pharaohs, which we call pharaohs. Pharaohs come to be. They were not the original kings of Egypt. The identities of each pharaoh in the Bible explained. Ramesses, the most central pharaoh, and the Egyptian gods, how they relate to the Bible, and the Hyksos significance, how central and important the Hyksos are to the entire Bible. Post-Exodus, everything after Deuteronomy. Yahusha is the Hebrew name of Joshua. Did you know Jesus, Joshua, and Hosea are related names? They are Yahshua, Yahusha, and Husha. In the book of Joshua, there is a conquest of the Promised Land. In the Apocrypha, the conquest is different. We have explained and mapped all of these names and locations revolving around the Bible Amorites and all of their cities from the conquest, as well as every location in Egypt as a whole, those including every name and location in Genesis, throughout the Exodus, and the entire Bible mapped as one. Deep meanings. Bear in mind one question, not four. On the holiday of Pesach, which we call Passover, there are 4 questions, but I want you to ask just one. What is this? That is the only question to ask throughout your entire Bible study. Correlation can be established. When you have patterns of correlations repeating hundreds of groups over thousands of names throughout the Bible, you find correlations. Causation can only be assumed, but we do have overwhelming correlation. Periodicity and redaction. Period is what is the time. Scholars state that the Bible was being composed as we know it after the Babylonian exile. Let's just call that 500 BC to make it easy to think about, and redaction around 200 BC, 100 BC, during the Greek Hellenistic era. So we had a composition, 500 BC, keeping all of these oral traditions combined into one around 200 BC for a Bible audience which had a time, place, and situation of Hellenistic Greece. Deep meaning continued. One of the great finds, one of the style points, one of the amazing parts of the Bible is essential wordplay. You can consider them something that we would call today Easter eggs, especially alliteration above all, double meanings such as Beer Sheba, Sheba meaning oath, Sheba meaning 7, and puns which arise. You can find connections and meanings through the Bible's wordplay, which is above all the greatest wordplay of all time. Mem, Nun, Hebrew Aramaic suffixes. Now, Gessen is the Greek version of Goshen. Amam has an M at the end, and Ammon has an N at the end. These are the same place in different languages. These are interchangeable suffixes. So when you search for these names in English, you will not find them because the Bible is not in English. The Bible also has many Springfields. Springfield is the name of the town in The Simpsons because there are many Springfields. The Bible has Springfields. There are many Rehoboth, many Kadesh, and many other names, such as Shalem, which we now call Jerusalem. There are multiple Shalems in Genesis. Bear this in mind. Numerology is extraordinarily important to the Hebrews. It is significant throughout the Bible, as well as the significance of names. For example, Elim means trees. The place Elim on the Exodus through Sinai is where the trees are. It's an oasis. Furthermore, when you have names like Abram changed to Abraham, and you have Esau who is Adam, these names have overwhelming significance. Deep meanings continued. Etymology is the word we use to explain where a name or a word came from. Etiology is when a word or name exists, and an explanation is ascribed to that existing word. The wives and concubines and their geographical importance in the Bible. Sacred cities. Why does Joseph marry the daughter of the priest of On? And borders. Where are they located? And why are they different at different places and different times? These we enjoy. Deep meanings continued. Destructions in the Bible. We have floods, we have landslides, we have great catastrophes. The accursed, who is accursed, when and why, and what are the ramifications, and afflictions. The afflictions in the Bible which make complete sense, sometimes too much sense. Very important, very deep meanings continued. There are multiple sources, and when they have discrepancies, when they disagree, the rubber hits the road and we find the real meaning, what was missing in the Bible, between the Masoretic text, the Septuagint, the Samaritan, which is the Samaritan Pentateuch, and above all, the Dead Sea Scrolls. What are their differences and what can we learn from their differences? This is the key to my findings. Egregious errors abound in the Bible itself and above all in their translations. When the Bible is translated between Hebrew and Aramaic to Greek to Latin to German to English, so many errors arise, misspellings of the Resh Dalet type, examples being Rodanim, Dodanim, Rifat, Difat. This is a very common error, and there are even misspellings of the way off type. These exist in your Bible. I have corrected them. Misunderstood Apocrypha explained. What are the books which we call Apocrypha, and how can we learn from them regarding the Bible, as well as completely misunderstood names explained and understood? Speaking of the Apocrypha and relations to the Bible, we have names such as Nimrod, Hanok, that being Nimrod and Enoch, the Nimrod cycle, which you find in the Apocrypha. The Bible itself was never Mesopotamian. The Bible loathes agriculture. The flood in Gilgamesh and the flood in the Bible neither copies the other. They are siblings. They come from the parent. The parent predates both in their composition because these were oral traditions for years before they were ever written down. This goes to the great relationship, the relationship between the Bible and Gilgamesh, yes, and Zoroastrianism, yes, the relationship between the Bible and everything. One great piece of wisdom: if it's weird, it's important. In my Bible research online, I found someone explaining someone else's question. One person had asked, "Why is this in the Bible? It seems weird." The response was, yes, it is weird, and if it's weird, it's important. Those are the details to pay the most attention to in the entire Bible. They explain the wordplay in the Bible. These are the groups of Bible findings. I'm Daniel Adam Fink. No matter what it is, I have it. Ask me.